We make the streams louder.
Hello everyone, so video here by the Legend, and we are going to be building a passive empire for you beginner players today. I'm going to give you guys the basics of it, some of the things you have to worry about, some of the things you have to know. Then you guys can go back, do some research, and hit me up on my next video where I will be doing some numbers on how much money you can be making and, you know, other things that you need to be focused on. And that will be really it for this series, essentially just showing you guys what's up with passive empires so you guys can have one of your own. Now, essentially, a couple things you need to know before you actually get into this video. You need to know about contribution points, you need to know about energy points, and you need to know about how workers work. Sorry about that. I do have a video on all three of these aspects, so go check them out. I'll have the link in the description below. But if those videos aren't good enough for you or don't have enough depth to them, go find another video on YouTube. You know, I mean, there's a lot of videos about this type of stuff. If not, then check out mine. Essentially, what we're going to be talking about today is really what the hell you want to do, and I'm going to be showing you guys all the different things you're going to have to look for and figure out when you're coming up with a passive empire. It seems like a lot, but it's really not that bad, essentially. But I'm going to explain to you guys all the stuff you need to do, and talk to you guys about my little passive empire that I have going on right now. Now, essentially, let's open up the map first, because we're going to have to look at the city that you're in. Hopefully, you guys are in the Heidel Velia area. I'm posted up in Heidel, so I'm going to talk about Heidel, and, you know, that's where I'm at the moment, and that's all I could really give you guys an example for. Now, essentially, what you need to do is you need to look at all the shops that are in your city or Heidel, for example. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close my inventory. I'm going to click on the right top hand side, the all button, the middle one, and it's going to show me all the things that are located in Heidel. So I can click on, you know, crop factory, and it's going to show me where my crop factories are. I click on it, crop factory, and I can look and see what resources are required to build those, and then I can see how much contribution points and silver I need. And then, you know, you could subtract that from what you have here and create a little empire thing. So essentially, you need to look and see what resources would be the best for you or the most profitable for you. So I found that double costume shop, armor shop, processing wood, and into plywoods and selling them on the marketplace nets me about 10 to 15 million a day. About 10 million a day, sorry, passively. Not doing shit with my life, just passively. That's not a lot, okay? That's not a lot. Reason being is I also do grinding daily, so that nets me about another 10 mil. 5 to 10 mil, usually, depends where I'm grinding. But I'm grinding at Pirates at the moment, so it's closer to 10 mil. So let's just say 5 mil for shits and giggles. That's 15 mil daily. Then I also do horse breeding. Well, horse breeding, I'm not making any money yet because I still have to level my horses. So essentially, that'll be hopefully another 15 mil down the road. Cool. So I make about 15 to 20 mil daily without really doing much of anything. I'm going to be upping that soon because I'm still building on my empire, but that's essentially what I'm doing at the moment to make my passive money. Now, since that's something that it works for me, you guys have to find something that works for yourself. So if you want to do minerals, if you want to take your copper, your iron, your lead, all these different things, you want to break them down into ingots, turn them into crates, or you want to do, you know, sell them on the marketplace straight up, or you want to use them in armors or different materials. You know, you can make a whole bunch of different things, weapons, all that good shit. With those materials, you just need to sit down and look at the shops and do a little bit of research. But now the nitty gritty comes down. Picking the shops and picking the stuff you might want to do is not too hard. But then you have to now figure out the resources. Now, essentially, this is how you're going to do it. Now, two things you could do. You can either get them yourself, either gather them through gathering, or you can get them through your workers through nodes, or you can buy them on the marketplace. Now, buying them on the marketplace is very inconsistent, very expensive, and sometimes can make you lose money, and might not even be on the marketplace ever because it's such a needed material, right? Well, okay. Oh, it's such a needed material, let me sell it. Well, no, because if it's a needed material, people are using it to make something more expensive, which you could be doing the same. So you have to think of it like that. If there's a material on the marketplace that's always gone, that's never there, then it's something that you could use to make something more expensive so you can make more money yourself. So you have to think of it like that. Don't sell yourself short because everyone, you know, is buying up this material and you think that you can make a lot of money there. It's not really worth it usually. So think about it like that. But if you do find a way to make money that way, then by all means go ahead. But essentially, that's how you have to think about it. You have to keep those things in mind. You know, how much it's going to cost for you to get those materials via how much you're going to be selling that material you're making with that material you just bought is what you're going to have to make the difference. So if you're actually going to have to sit down and do some math, write down, do some numbers, and you have to also factor in the marketplace tax and stuff like that. You have to factor in all the other materials that you're going to need, travel time, like just time in general, and how much it's taking you to gather these materials, how much it's taking you to make the item that you're making, or if not, just gathering those materials to sell it, and how much time you are putting into to how much money you're making, because sometimes you're putting in 1 to 2 hours and only making 1 to 2 mil. It's not worth. You need to be making at least multiple millions an hour. But as a starting player, that's okay. But it needs to improve. You can't sit at that, because that's not a very good income passively. You need to be making millions and millions and millions passively. I'm making millions and millions not doing anything. If I played and did a little bit more active stuff, I'd make a lot more money. But I'm doing absolutely nothing. And that's on the low end for me at the moment. Once I add back in my cooking and stuff like that, I have a bunch of cooking utensils I've been getting back and stuff like that. People are actually putting them back on the marketplace. I'll be making upwards of 50 mil a day, just passively, not doing shit, just moving my materials around and then putting back to cook and doing other things. That's it, you know, relatively passive. My workers are working, I sell the materials, and I make a lot of money that way, 50 to 100 mil depending. So essentially, that's really what it is. I hope you guys take some of that information in. Just make sure you think about how much it's going to cost you, how much materials you're making, how much materials you're going to need to make those items. You got to do some numbers. You got to sit down and do some numbers, pick out what you want, make sure you have enough contribution points, enough energy to gather the materials you're going to need. Make sure that you're in the right city to do a lot of things, because you remember, some things are subject to some cities. I can't make Gruntle armors in Heidel. I can't do certain things in Heidel. Calpheon has certain shops. Altanova has certain shops. Valencia has certain shops. That's all the way in the desert. These places have different things that you cannot obtain through, certain cities. So certain cities are just kind of locked in what they have. And certain cities have more than other cities. Heidel has more than Velia. Calpheon has more than Heidel. Altanova doesn't have more than, has about in between of Heidel and Calpheon, but it has different stuff in there, different shops sometimes, different level of shops. So keep that in mind. Hope you guys liked the video. Hope you guys got something from it. If you have any questions, put in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.